One night in 1966, a man walked into a boxing gym to expose Muhammad Ali. 3 minutes later, he couldn't lift his arms, and Ali hadn't thrown a single punch. No cameras, no reporters, just an empty gym and a lesson most men never forget. Miami, 1966. The city breathed differently after dark. By day, Miami glittered. Sunlight bounced off chrome bumpers and hotel glass, turning streets into mirrors where people could admire the versions of themselves they preferred. By night, the shine peeled away. What remained was heat trapped in concrete, old grudges that never cooled, and neighborhoods that had learned quietly, painfully, that survival required something more than strength. Overtown was one of those neighborhoods. A basement boxing gym called Patterson's Nothing Fancy. Concrete walls, heavy bags hanging from chains, the smell of sweat and liniment oil. The kind of place where real fighters work, not the glamorous training camps with photographers. It's late evening. Most people have cleared out. The owner is counting cash at the front desk. Muhammad Ali is alone in the ring, hitting the heavy bag. Not hard, controlled, methodical. The way he trains when no one's watching, when it's about refining, not performing. The bag moves like water with each hit. Perfect rhythm. 40 minutes in and he's not even breathing hard. That's when the door opens. 3 men walk in. The first is built like a stopped truck, maybe 250 pounds, all shoulders and chest. White guy, maybe mid-30 seconds. The other 2 are smaller, but move like they've seen violence before. They're not here to train. The big man's name is Frank DeLuca. He owns a construction company in the white neighborhoods. He's also what people used to call a tough guy, the kind of man who settles disputes with his fists and uses violence to keep people in their place. He stops at the ring's edge and watches Ali for a moment without saying anything. Ali doesn't acknowledge him, just keeps hitting the bag, but his awareness changes. You can see it in his shoulders. He knows something shifted in the room. Finally, Frank speaks. His voice is thick, New Jersey accent, the kind that carries automatic disrespect. "Hey, Cassius, or are we supposed to call you Muhammad now?" He says the name like it's something dirty, like it's a joke. Ali finishes his combination and turns to face the ring's edge. He's not angry, not visibly, just looking at Frank with the same calm he'd give to any stranger who walked into his training. "I'm sorry. Do I know you?" Frank laughs. Actually laughs. Like this is funny to him. "You know what I think? I think you've gotten too big for your own good. All that dancing around, all that talk, all that Muslim stuff. I think underneath all that, you're just another colored boy who got lucky with his hands." The gym goes silent. The owner stops counting money. Even the chains holding the heavy bags seem to stop creaking. Frank steps closer to the ring. "I think if you fought a real man, not some bum they parade in front of you, but a real street fighter who didn't grow up wearing gloves, you'd get your ass kicked." Ali steps through the ropes and drops down to the gym floor. He's still wearing his training gloves, his shirt soaked through with sweat. "You want to fight me? I want to see if you're real, or if you're just smoke and mirrors. You understand I could seriously hurt you." Frank smiles. It's not a nice smile. "That's what I'm counting on. I want to see the real you. The angry nigger boxer who's been hiding behind all that preacher talk." He's trying to provoke him, trying to get Ali angry, uncontrolled, willing to break the law, willing to be what Frank thinks he really is underneath. Ali looks at him for a long moment. Then he steps out of the gym clothes and hands them to the gym owner. He's still wearing his training gloves. He doesn't take them off. "Okay, but not in the ring. Here on the floor. And one rule, I won't throw a punch until you've thrown 100. Then we'll see what happens." Frank's eyes light up. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's finally going to see Muhammad Ali do something out of control. Frank takes off his jacket. He's even bigger without it all, muscle and scar tissue from years of street fights and barroom brawls. You ready? Frank asks. Ali nods. Frank throws a punch. It's a wild haymaker from his hip, the kind of punch that would destroy a normal man's jaw if it landed clean. Ali moves his head maybe 2 inches. The punch passes so close, Frank can feel the air move, but nothing connects. Frank, surprised, throws another. This one's a hook, meant to catch Ali on the way back. Ali slips it. The punch goes through empty space. Frank gets frustrated and throws a combination jab, cross, hook, uppercut. 4 heavy punches, all thrown with genuine power. All thrown by a man who's used to his strength ending conversations. Ali doesn't block any of them. He just moves. His head, his shoulders, his hips slide out of the way like water flowing around a stone. Every punch finds nothing but air. After 40 seconds, Frank is breathing harder. Ali's breathing hasn't changed. Frank throws harder now, wider. He's not thinking anymore, just reacting to his own frustration. A haymaker that could collapse a rib cage. Ali ducks under it. A round kick aimed at Ali's head. Ali steps back, and it whistles past his ear. 2 minutes in, Frank is sweating now. Not from exertion, from embarrassment. He's throwing with everything he has and hitting nothing. The gym owner is watching with his mouth open. Frank's 2 friends have stopped moving. They understand what's happening. Frank is beginning to understand too. He throws an uppercut aimed at Ali's chin. Ali tips his chin back 6 inches. The punch passes under him. Frank loses his balance slightly, staggers forward. Ali could hit him now, easily. A single punch to the face or the body would end this. Frank is overextended, off balance, leaving himself completely open. Ali doesn't punch. Frank regains his balance and throws again. This time it's different. It's not with rage anymore. It's with desperation. He wants to land something, anything, just to prove he's not completely helpless. Ali slides out of the way. 3 minutes. Frank's throwing arm drops a little. His breathing is ragged now. Real physical exhaustion. He's been throwing maximum effort punches for 3 minutes straight while hitting absolutely nothing. Frank throws a final combination 5 punches in quick succession, a last desperate attempt to overwhelm Ali with volume and power. Ali moves. Each punch finds nothing. Not one connects. Frank drops his hands. His shoulders heave as he breathes. There's no anger in his face now, just confusion. Just the crushing realization that he's been completely outclassed. Not by someone who hit him harder or faster, but by someone who made his own power irrelevant. Ali is breathing normally. He hasn't thrown a single punch. Frank looks at Ali with something between respect and terror, because he's just learned something that most people never understand. Being able to hit hard isn't the same as being dangerous. And the most dangerous person in a room isn't always the one who uses their power the most. Ali steps closer to Frank, not threatening, just close enough to talk quietly. You know what just happened? Frank shakes his head. You threw 100 punches and hit 0 times. You put everything into power, into force, into trying to hurt me, and none of it worked. You know why? Frank doesn't answer. Because you were throwing at the idea of me, at the angry nigger you thought you'd find underneath, at the thing you wanted to be true so you could tell yourself the world makes sense. But that's not who I am. Ali takes off his training gloves and hands them to Frank. I'm not hiding anger behind religion. I'm not pretending to be calm. This is who I am. I can move faster than you can think. I can see your punch before your brain even sends the signal to throw it. Not because I'm angry, but because I've spent 10,000 hours learning to be efficient, learning what works and what doesn't. Ali steps back. You came here thinking you'd prove something, thinking that if you could hurt me, you'd prove that the colored boy preacher is fake. But what you actually learned is that your kind of power, The power to hurt, the power to dominate through force, doesn't scare me, and it doesn't define me. Frank is still breathing hard. His face is red from exertion and something else. Shame, maybe, or understanding. The man you're looking for, the animal you think is hiding underneath, he doesn't exist. So you can go back to your neighborhood and tell your friends that you went 10 rounds with Muhammad Ali. That's true. But you can also tell them that he never hit you because he didn't have to, that he moved so fast you couldn't see him coming, and that the only thing you proved today is that speed and efficiency beat power and anger every single time. Frank picks up his jacket. He looks at Ali one more time. There's no resentment in his look, just processing. Just a man trying to reorganize his understanding of the world. As Frank walks toward the door with his friends, the gym owner says something under his breath. Ali hears it anyway. That was the most powerful thing I've ever seen, the owner says. Ali is already back in the ring, already wrapping his hands again for the next combination. No, he says quietly. That was the most powerful thing I didn't do. Frank came to the gym wanting to see Muhammad Ali angry, wanting to prove that behind the poetry and the religion was a fighter who could be provoked, who could be made to lose control. What Frank actually saw was something more terrifying. A man so in control of himself that other people's violence becomes irrelevant. A man whose power wasn't in his fists, but in his mind, his focus, his understanding of something Frank had never even considered. And that realization changed Frank. Not because Ali was cruel or humiliated him, but because Ali showed him something true about the world, that dominance through force is weaker than mastery through efficiency. That anger is less powerful than understanding. The greatest fighters don't prove their strength by hitting hard, they prove it by not needing to. That's what Ali understood that night in the empty gym, and that's what Frank left understanding too.